Tarot. My name's Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about something being relatively difficult to keep in a happy or healthy state because somebody has been overthinking and their insecurity makes it really difficult to form a trusting bond. Now, that could just be friendship or a family connection, but I do think for the majority of you, this would be a romantic connection that is struggling to get off the ground or to stay in a happy place because someone is worried about rejection or abandonment or not being good enough for you. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members, and thank you to those that have checked out my candles on Etsy. That's in the description box as well. I think we will start with the Golden Art Nouveau. What else do we have? King of Pentacles, the Moon, Queen of Wands in the reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles. Yes, this is the issue between a King and Queen of Pentacles. So interesting because these two would be divine counterparts, right? So soulmates, if you will, or uniquely suited to be in a happy relationship with each other, maybe because you bring something to the table that they lack, or because you have similar views. But this is like, the potential is really great between these two. The issue is we have this Queen of Wands in the reverse. Now, it is closer to the Queen of Pentacles, so I'm going to assume that we have that individual as the person who's dealing with insecurity. And I feel like the Moon is in between the Queen of Wands in the reverse and the King of Pentacles, because the King of Pentacles isn't really sure why this person's acting the way they are. Maybe there's a little bit of an assumption that it could be related to insecurity, but I feel like more so we have somebody who's in confusion. Like, why are you acting this way, you know? Hello, Paula. How are you doing? Hello, Rahim. How's your day? What do we have? Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, Two of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. So there's an argument or some distance that's happening between these two because of the insecurity, and it's making someone question whether there needs to be kind of like a reassessment as to whether or not this is someone they could actually have a long-term relationship with. If you're always going to assume that I'm cheating when I'm not, or if you're always going to assume that I don't think highly of you, that's going to be a really difficult thing to deal with over and over again, because you don't want to believe that, you know, I love you or that I really do want to be good to you. Hello, MKG. How are you doing? Hello, Sherelle. How are you doing? What else? Hangman in the reverse. Judgment in the reverse. Sorry, Hangman in the upright. Yeah, so it's our King of Pentacles. This would likely be your energy, although take it how it resonates. And keep in mind that the King of Pentacles does not need to be a man, and the Queen of Pentacles does not need to be a woman. But we have someone's insecurity giving this King of Pentacles second thoughts, or making them question whether or not it's worth it to pursue a relationship or stay in a relationship with this person, when it doesn't matter what they say. It's always assumed that there is somebody else better out there for this King of Pentacles than this Queen of Pentacles. So the relationship itself may be plagued with arguments that don't seem to be based on reality, but rather someone's suspicious nature or imagination. So this is why we have the King of Pentacles questioning, I don't know how I could be in a relationship when nothing I say and nothing I do seems to convince you that I'm actually interested in being a good partner to you. You're too fixated on the idea that it's only a matter of time before I decide you're not good enough. So, like, how can you ever really have something meaningful with someone like that. So this King of Pentacles is looking at the situation and realizing that what they really want in a relationship might be impossible with someone if there can never be a foundation of trust built between the two due to this instability or insecurity. Too many other problems happen as a result of that insecurity, right? Too many other arguments or suspicious energy between two people who are otherwise quite happy with each other. This is the Wild Reflections Tarot. Hello, Natn. What's up? Hello, Carrie. How you doing? What else do we have? The Chariot, the Two of Wands in the reverse, the Five of Swords in the reverse, and return of that King of Pentacles. I think we have a King of Pentacles leaning towards, you know, I didn't think I would give up on this relationship, or I didn't think I'd get to the point where I don't want to be around this person, but it's getting a little bit aggravating, or I'm starting to lose my mind because I have to always explain where I'm going, who I'm seeing. If I have an unexpected delay, it turns into a major argument, and it feels like no matter what I do, it's not good enough. This person's just constantly paranoid that I'm out here flirting with someone else or getting with someone else. Ace of Wands, Page of Pentacles in the reverse, the Magician, and Strength. So I feel like this King of Pentacles is feeling a sense of hopelessness regarding this relationship. It doesn't matter what I do, you're always going to assume the worst of me. So it might be time for me to reconsider whether or not I want to invest in this relationship. It feels to me like you might have to work on loving yourself before you can be in a relationship with me. So I think this is someone taking charge of the situation, starting a conversation, expressing that they're a little bit frustrated or this isn't really sustainable, and probably ending this relationship, or at least saying we need to do something like go to counseling or pursue some therapy, because what goes on for you as far as overthinking is making it difficult for us to be able to be happy in the relationship. What else do we have? Seven of Wands in the reverse, the King of Wands, and the Eight of Wands in the reverse. So part of the issue is we have one person who feels like they have to communicate a ton about where they are, what they're doing, who they're talking to, you know, estimated time of arrival, but they feel like they don't get that same communication back. Not necessarily that, you know, I'm paranoid, I need to know where you are all the time, but the King of Pentacles feels like they have to be extremely communicative and on point about everything, but when they ask for details or information from this Queen of Pentacles, they don't always feel like they know where they stand or what's going on. Hello, Biggie. How are you doing? Hello, Ike. How's it going? Thank you, MKG. I'm going to write that down for you real quick. In New Zealand in 9 years. Oh, I hope you can find a way to make that work. Is now the right time? I needed a 10-year break. Heard they haven't changed. Let's see, maybe we'll find out that they have a little bit at least. But thank you, and I've added that. I think I've seen you on here enough to know that you probably know how I address the personal questions, but you let me know if you don't. Hello, I am Ra. How are you doing? I hope I said that right. I don't know if I'm supposed to put it all in one cool name. But that might be a little bit too much for my brain, right? Yeah. King of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, so I was expected to communicate. I had to be like an open book, or I had to share my location with you. But then when I wanted to know what was going on, when I wanted to have a window into your soul, it was slammed shut, maybe even nailed shut, you know? seats taken, I don't want to talk to you kind of thing. Hey, Natn, thank you for the tip. Is there a good surprise headed towards Natn? I got you. What else? We have the Hermit, the Eight of Swords, and the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So if I can't count on you to communicate about where you are in the relationship or what you need, what's working, what's not working, but you expect me to be constantly reassuring you so that you feel like the relationship is going well, it leaves someone feeling hollow, right? Like I've put so much into it, but I still feel very blinded. I don't know what's going on in terms of how you feel or what you're thinking or why you make these assumptions about my actions. But maybe it's time for me to pull back and me to not be as open and communicative with you. I feel like this is someone shutting down and realizing that the relationship is over, because if they don't feel comfortable talking to this person about how they feel, then what's really left? So some pretty deep introspection, but also assessment of the relationship that they're dealing with, realizing that they can't really force this person to change. And if they're going to be dealing with this insecurity with no effort to address it, it's not sustainable. So the Hermit could be a reference to someone deciding that it's time to go their own way or end this relationship. But it's important that they get the communication right. So they might be drafting a letter. They might be obsessing over what the right approach is to this difficult conversation where they say, you know, I think at this point it makes sense for us to reconsider the relationship because it seems like we're not going to be able to move past these concerns that you have regarding trust. And if you can't trust me, then I don't think that there's much that we can build upon. So the guidance card does also refer to a helping hand. You might have a really great friend who's stepping in to validate or, you know, give you some good advice. So don't feel like you're going to be alone in this. There's someone who really does want to help you. We have free and alive, travel, explore, wild, uninhibited, and adventure. And alive says excitement, boldness, vigor, dynamic, zest, and movement. So there is this ability to imagine what else could happen after this relationship ends. It's not so much about sadness and hesitation to let go, because I think someone's already been doing a lot of that processing before they even have this breakup conversation. I've tried, I don't know what I can do. I thought that I could express to this person how much I love them or how much I want this relationship to work. But if it's not going to work, then I think I just need to let go of it and be at peace with how things have gone in this connection. So I'm proud of whoever this is. This King of Pentacles is managing their emotions and their expectations. This is the Fairy Lenormand. Let's see what else we have for you. Hello, Juan. How are you doing? I'm sorry you disagree with the channel, but I would ask you to find a channel that does work for you. I got no hard feelings towards you, but I think it's not asking too much that you be respectful of the rules in the chat. Hello, Jonathan. How are you doing? Hello, Irish. How's it going? Hello, Katrina. How's your day going? Irish, I don't concern myself with those matters. We have the Sun. I think this is someone realizing they have a lot of happiness and good times ahead when they're able to kind of put this relationship behind them and not have to obsess over how to make sure somebody isn't worried or angry or judging them or watching their every move. So whoever has been doing the recon, whoever has been like obsessing over where this King of Pentacles is, our Queen of Pentacles is being told sorry, I think this is the end of the road for us. I don't think that we can make this work because you can't trust me. It's a pretty good reason. Another reference to strength. So even though it's not easy, even though I was really hoping that we could make this work, if this is how it is, then I have to be strong enough to walk away from it and accept that that's how it is. Hello, Lone Stone Gate or Stargazer. Sorry, I was trying to think about two different things at once. Natn, I can't remember if I have asked before, and don't feel bad if I have and you declined, but if you would like to be a moderator, let me know. Hello, Honesty. How are you doing? So we've got the Three of Cups in the reverse, the Seven of Cups, and Justice. So this Queen of Pentacles is convinced that the reason the relationship is ending is because the King of Pentacles has found someone new. And I feel like that is categorically false. I see no evidence of that. This is someone who's thinking about, I'll have some time to myself. I won't have to like choose my TV shows based on you, or I won't have to explain my every move to make sure that you don't think that I'm cheating on you. This is someone who's like gut reaction is, oh, if you're leaving me, it must be because you found somebody else. When they're clearly stating it's because you constantly think that I'm dating someone else when I'm really focused on you. It's like salt on the wound. So with the Four of Pentacles, it's kind of like this King of Pentacles gets automatic like confirmation. This is the right decision, because even when I explain to you specifically how I feel and what is going on in our connection, you are still obsessed with the concept of this must be because you want someone other than me. Hey Marcus, how you doing? Thank you for the tip. If we'll get the silver back. Will we get silver back? I have added that for you. Thank you, Marcus. Hello, is it Fadi? How are you doing? Happy to help. I do personal questions after the general reading. Marcus is giving a good example of that. And I believe that's our lovely Rachel. What's happening? It is indeed. Hello, Yummy Hams. What's up? This is a general reading. We got somebody who is a little bit insecure or a lot of bit insecure, and the relationship is ending because of that insecurity. There is an argument, naturally, I suppose. You know, why are you really breaking up with me? Have you actually been seeing someone else this whole time? And it's painful because this King of Pentacles, by the way, is like the most reliable relationship partner individual you could have. The King or the Queen of Pentacles, these are people who are generally quite good at that, right? Unfortunately, the Queen of Pentacles also came out with the Queen of Wands in the reverse energy, which indicates that insecurity. So we have somebody who was being faithful. We have somebody who was doing right by the relationship and really wanted to make sure that this Queen of Pentacles would see how much they really care about them, or that they are the only one for them. And no matter what they did, this Queen of Pentacles was unsatisfied or convinced that there was someone else in the picture. There's no way that you're just talking to me. That's crazy. No one does that anymore. Some people do it. There's some people out there that have morals. Hello, Amy. How you doing? I like it. This is the situations deck. What else do we have? Wish, hope, praying, yearning. Crickets, silence, non-action. At this point, I think the King of Pentacles has kind of resigned themselves to the fact that this relationship isn't going to work. The Queen of Pentacles needs to do some sort of therapy or counseling, or address the healing that needs to happen regarding their confidence or their ability to love themselves. They just don't seem to understand how someone could love them, is what the King of Pentacles feels. So because they were obsessed with the concept of their partner being unfaithful, their very faithful partner has decided to leave. Because it just seems like no matter what, you're going to assume that it's some tragedy or there's some problem here. You can't seem to just accept it when there is a happy relationship. Unfortunately, this Queen of Pentacles is going to have quite the problematic reaction to this breakup. Again, I do think that they're still convinced this person was cheating on me, and I don't see any evidence whatsoever of this King of Pentacles being unfaithful. So they're obsessed. They're looking for any evidence on social media. Have you been seeing this person? Have you been dating that person? What's going on here, really? But it's a waste of their time. They're looking for receipts. They're looking for proof. They want to be able to tell everybody else, look at this person, can't be trusted. They were cheating on me. But what they really did was squander their own happiness because they couldn't believe that it was actually a happy connection, actually a trustworthy partner. So make sure you can appreciate and see happiness when it's right in front of you. Because this is somebody who's ruined it because they couldn't accept that it might actually be a positive connection for them. That's funny, Rachel. I had to wait to start my live stream until the wash was done so I could move it over into the dryer. I can't really record when the washer's going. It's just too loud. It sounds like somebody's like getting beat up next door. What else do we have? Toil and labor. Number 38. Official person. Number 22. And journey. So I put in all the work that I could. I tried to reassure you. I tried to make sure that you had access to information, or you knew where I was, or you knew who I was hanging out with. I tried to do everything right. I followed the rules. I tried to help you see that I just wanted to be with you. But now I have to leave because no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough. You still felt like I was not to be trusted. So we have someone who felt like they were stuck in this relationship, or someone who felt like they would never be taken seriously or trusted. And in reality, they were a very honorable partner. So this is why we have to make sure that we are grounded, listening to that intuition, and acknowledging what's happening, communicating with that person so we don't make snap judgments and lose something that is actually quite beautiful. All right, y'all, I might cut the general a little short because it's starting to repeat the message. I'm going to dive into those personal questions. So we've got MKG up first, and then we've got Nat, and then we've got Marcus. And for MKG, we're wondering, is it time to make a trip back to New Zealand? Is it the right time to head back to New Zealand? Nope. Not yet. Ten of Cups, Six of Wands, Nine of Wands, Death. I feel like there's something that's really important for you to be around where you currently are. It is like a pivotal decision or moment, or maybe, you know, acknowledgement within your professional career. And you need to be there for that. And this trip, if you were to take it, it would threaten that opportunity for you or make it extremely stressful. So this is like, nope. Let's stay focused on the things that are a priority for you right now, And you'll know when you hit this moment where you're like, okay, I finished that project, or I made that deadline. I closed that account or closed that deal. Now I feel like I can go back and deal with the ghosts of my past, the thing that I haven't really been dealing with. But there's something that you have to deal with where you are now first. And it looks like it's success. It looks like it helps you to feel like you have, I don't know, like a good thing to tell people back home. A great thing to tell them. We have the Three of Cups and Tower. So I feel like if you were to take this trip as early as you were contemplating, it could even put somebody that you do care about in a precarious position, whether that's safety or just like, you know, being able to run a business. You would potentially feel like you let somebody down if you were not around for that important event. And it could be more than one person. But that important event, once that happens, once you have this sense of victory from the Six of Wands, then I feel like there is another kind of tug on your heart. Hey, maybe it's a good time to go visit now. Now that I've done this, done right by that obligation or achieved that thing, now I think I'm ready to go back. So I do feel like you're going to see some sort of a sign, and it validates it for you that, okay, yep, it's time to start looking for travel plans or tickets. But with the Six of Pentacles in the reverse right now, there would be too much risk that you would lose out on an opportunity that is pretty pivotal or important for your career or possibly important for your romantic life. So you want to make sure you get through that first. Hello, Gianna. How are you doing? I agree, Nat. All right. And then let's just ask, has there been any change or like personal growth from the parents for MKG? Yes. Hanged Man in the reverse. King of Cups. Does it say it's just one? So one's doing better than the other. I feel like there's someone like stubbornly pulling the other one along, like, come on, we gotta get there. We gotta get there before they close. I hope they don't actually sound like that, but that's the voice that I felt like making at that moment, so I chose to do that. But it's like someone is dragging the other parent behind them, like, we might as well, we gotta do this. I don't know if it's like, I wanna try to actually get into heaven, or if it's just like, people are looking, we gotta like at least make a little bit of an effort. Is it over? No. There is more compassion than previously. Six of Swords in the reverse, the Star in the reverse, Two of Cups. But it's not where you want it to be. It would still cause problems. So Six of Swords in the reverse, that's another confirmation. It's probably too early for that. There's still some healing that's going to happen. I feel like there's a really emotional thing that happens for your parents while you are dealing with this victory. And that emotional thing helps them to greater appreciate the connections that they have and the connections that they haven't really been investing in. So to be honest, it kind of looks like a tough lesson that is being learned by one of your parents or both of you. And this is a catalyst to some much needed healing. Good luck to you, MKG. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Of course, if you're out that way, it might not be the weekend anymore, eh? No, it would still be Sunday, right? I forget these things. Is it Saturday? You guys, what day is it? Hi, Joaquin. How are you doing? So we have Natn up next. What good surprise is headed towards Natn? Okay. So we've got the Queen of Cups and Strength in the reverse. Eight of Swords. Hanged Man. This is weird. So what I saw in my mind was Michelle Pfeiffer in the movie One Fine Day. And I have not seen that movie in a very long time, but what I recall is Michelle Pfeiffer's character being all huffy and irritable because a lot of different things happen during that day that make it difficult for her to do the things that she needs to do, including, I remember distinctly, there being a spill on her shirt, so she has to change into like a literal child's shirt underneath her like lawyer suit, you know? There's something here about an inconvenient day or a sacrifice that you have to make. You know, I wanted to do this today, but I guess I can't. But even though you're feeling frustrated, there is some stranger that shows you kindness or a friend who really steps up. And in that movie, it's more so that that irritable day introduces her to a person who's a great love interest. So when you are dealing with an irritable day, maybe it'll help you to remember to stay calm or manage those emotions or that frustration if you realize that on one of those days, it's going to be really nice how you serendipitously run into something kind of amazing. So I like that for you. Let's see what we've got for Marcus. Marcus, we have, will we get the silver back? Marcus wants to know, will they get the silver back? Some of it. I don't think you will get all of it. I do think you will find out what happened, where it is, who spent what, or at least most of that detail. But with this Five of Jars, that's like generally depicted by a man upset over 3 overturned cups and 2 cups behind him that are still sitting upright. And here you can kind of see that same energy with the 2 cups at the top that are not broken, but the 3 jars at the bottom are. So I don't think you're going to get the majority of it back, but I do think you'll get some of it back. Is there going to be some legal consequences? I'm just curious. I'm guessing you are too. There might not be the legal consequences you're hoping for here. This got me thinking you're just going to be all like Mission Impossible about it. I think I know where it is. Let's sneak in and steal it back. Is it against the law to burglarize someone who stole something from you just to get back what you took? I would think no. Can you steal something that's actually yours? I think you're going to get some of it back, but not all of it. And I do feel like it requires a little bit of creativity. And I don't know that there's going to be an easy way for there to actually be legal consequences for the person who took it. I am not advocating for any crimes on my channel, just to be absolutely clear. All right, you guys, I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. I hope to see you on the next one. That's fair. And if you have a chance to check out my candles on Etsy, here's one. Isn't it cute? I didn't put the sticker on that one, sorry. Then it's in the description box. All right, toodles.